Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. So we'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll start. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Shall we start? I think somehow people uh, will probably join. So we'll start in 1 or 2 minutes more. Um, did you have all of the hours today? Uh, I think this is the last hour, right? I am the last person. Shijo sir already took class, I think. And I don't know whether it is some network issue or something. So let me know if I'm not audible. Okay. I
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you are audible.
okay. So did you have all the 4 hours today?
Sir, first
Sir,
was
after it we had all years.
Can one of you speak? I was hearing both of you at the same time.
sir. First hour was free because Johnson sir couldn't take class, so was
Ah, okay.
free.
That's fine. All the others took class, right?
Yes. Shijo sir took from for 12:50 to 1:50.
Okay. So we are actually, I think all of the teachers are following the normal timetable, 9:30 to 3:30, with lunch break between 12:30 and 1:30. That is the normal timetable. I think there has not been any change in that, but according to their convenience, sometimes teachers might start the class at 8:30 as well. It depends on them. But normally, I think the timetable that is currently being followed is 9:30 to 3:30, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we also had a mail from the principal regarding the length of the online classes, and he has asked us to limit classes to 30 to 40 minutes at the most. And I have conveyed this to all the teachers. I hope they are following it, uh, because uh, the it becomes a little bit tiring otherwise, right? So you can also remind them if possible that we are supposed to wind up in about 30 to 40 minutes, so that you also get some break in between. Okay. um, then yeah, before we get into the actual class, I also had one more thing to share with you. That is, yeah, it is a good news. The good news is that we have finally submitted our NAC, a self-study report. That is a big document that we have been preparing for the last 5 or 6 months under the leadership of Johnson sir. There was a team working on this document, and we have finally finished all the work, and we have uploaded it. So yeah, thank you. So I also played a very small role in that. So the good news is that all of the teachers who were working on that will now be a little more free to engage classes and other things. um, and connected to that, the rest of the work is up to you, actually, because immediately after they receive this SSR, the first thing that they will do is they will send out a kind of a survey. It is called a student satisfaction survey. And probably you also will get an email from NAC directly, containing a number of questions, which try to measure your responses, your satisfaction regarding the kind of experience that you are having in the college. So so you can really be honest about that. uh, you know that is what is expected of you. But in case there is a specific question in that, which tries to you know get your suggestions, right? It is asking for suggestions on how to improve classes, or what are the kinds of things that we can do in order to make our teaching more effective. So because we are very concerned about all of you, and we want to help you as much as possible, we actually have we have been the principal has circulated a list of possible suggestions that you could probably use. Okay. So it has actually been given to all class teachers, and we have been asked to discuss these suggestions with you. And the reason is that these suggestions are things that we have commonly identified as things that we as a college want to improve. So if you are mentioning this to NAC, then we'll of course we'll be able to provide satisfactory answers, or kind of lay out a plan by which we intend to improve these things. So I just want to discuss a few of these possible suggestions with you. Let me just pull up the mail. Just hold on 1 second. I have it here somewhere. Yeah. 1 second. Let me just share the screen as well, so it is possible for you to see this as well. Okay. Um, yeah. So in this particular student satisfaction survey, there is a particular question number 21. And this is where they will ask you to provide some observations or suggestions or something like that, right, regarding the college. And some of the examples of things that you could probably mention if you get that mail are listed here. We'll just quickly go through it. You can ask for greater opportunities for field exposure, right? This is something that our college currently lacks in. uh, Partly it is not our fault because we cannot really provide field exposure in this kind of a climate, but once the pandemic and all subsides, probably we'll be able to provide more opportunities for that. Then more of industrial visits. So this is also something which is not really applicable to us. We do not really have many industrial visits in MA English literature, but we can still visit places where research work is being conducted in literature. Meet with people who are doing research and that sort of thing. So that could be uh, mentioned. um, One visit per semester for greater industry exposure is similar to that. Then flexibility for taking at least 20% of the courses online. Right now we are taking 100% of the courses online, but this is in the normal climate. um, Something that we want to experiment with, that is to supplement normal classroom teaching with some percentage of online classes. That could be something that we can suggest. Regulations regarding attendance could be made lighter. Okay, this is also something that students are always coming to us about, um, that we are really strict with the attendance. But that is also for a reason, because we don't want to be entirely lax with attendance either. um, so yeah, it is a commonly observed suggestion that our attendance regulations could be a little bit lighter. Then problem based assignments. So instead of giving assignments which are simply lesson based or text based, we could make the assignments also a little more practical in nature, right? Then group assignments for problem solving, similar to that. Dedicated time for physical training. Yeah, so that is something that we can all benefit from. I personally can benefit from it a lot. So we don't have any physical education classes in our PG sessions. you know we are expected to spend all of our hours inside the classroom. So maybe some fitness training and physical training is necessary for us. Otherwise we might end up becoming too bookish. So yeah, that is a suggestion, valuable suggestion. um, Exemption from some courses where the skill is already proved, right? So this is also something more related to UG courses, because sometimes um, you know a student might come and find that the UG, the common courses, at least the languages, computer, etc. There are certain common courses which are given to all UG students, and these might be too elementary, too basic, right? So such students will feel really bored in these classes, because they have already achieved skills beyond what this course can offer. So for them, if they can produce some sort of a certificate saying that they have already achieved this much skill in this particular area, then it might be possible for us to exempt them from such courses. So that kind of a provision might be a good addition to the college. Then related to that, possibility of taking additional courses of one's taste, right? So even if you find yourself not liking some of the subjects that you have been offered with, if you are free to choose some other subjects that you really like, then that is probably very useful for you. Okay. Additional credits for cultural or service activities, we already have that in a rudimentary level at the UG, UG level. We have some service learning, we have some credits which are given for participating in NSS activities, NCC, etc. So probably that can be extended to the PG level as well. The next one is possibility of doing the open course of one's choice even online. Okay, again, open course is something that we have in the UG level. um, that is usually done in the final year, fifth semester. That is when you opt for some course from some other department. So you can learn a little bit about chemistry or mathematics or physics. uh, you can go there and learn some basic skills from some other discipline. So right now we have actual open courses for the BA and BSc students, but we can also offer certain online courses which can be completed from your home itself on your own free time. You don't have to go and attend the classes. You can complete the assignments and requirements and finally obtain an online certificate. So if you can do that, then that could be acceptable. So that is a suggestion that you can put forward. Um, then yeah, the next one is about international exchange programs, international as well as domestic. Again, this is also something for the future. We had a very good exchange program, before Corona. We had many students coming to our college from Afghanistan, from Nepal, from Africa, various African nations, and also from America. We had a couple of students coming to us from America to spend one semester here, and learn what we learn, right? But then because of the pandemic and everything, that is currently not functional. Maybe we can expand that after this problem is over, right? And the last, I think this is the last one. Yeah, the last possible suggestion is facilities for learning international languages and classical languages. So right now we have the provision to learn Sanskrit, French, and also this ancient language called Syriac, which is Syriac or Aramaic. It's a kind of an ancient language in which many of the the ancient books of the Bible were written. So we have the book, the provision to learn that on the college. Unfortunately, it is not available for PG students again, but UG students can enroll for these courses. So maybe you can also, if you're interested in language and linguistics, particularly our course and everything, if you're very interested in linguistics, probably you can mention this also as a suggestion. All right, so for those who just joined us a little bit late, I'm just going through some of the some of the suggestions that you know that have been circulated to us, um, which you can mention in the student satisfaction survey, which will be conducted by NAC as part of the the NAC assessment. Okay, so that is that. Now, um, what next? Yeah, another thing that I wanted to discuss with you is your assignments. I have shared all of your assignments as a PDF file in the group. So one thing that I found while going through your assignments is that basically I got only two assignments. I got 14 different submissions, 14 different people submitted, but actually there were only two assignments. 13 of them were the same. They were all the exact same phrases, the exact same sentences in the exact same order as it was mentioned in the book. One assignment was different. So when if you go through the PDF, it will be very clear to you which assignment is at least a little bit original. So whenever we give assignments or any sort of work, any sort of class work or anything, uh, more than getting the right answers, it is also at least a marginal level of originality that we look for. Because at the end of these 2 years of learning English literature, if you don't learn anything else, the the one basic thing that you must learn is how to write on your own, right? And copying something and pasting it in another place is really easy. It is really easy, and it is also foolproof because you can never go wrong. When you copy an answer from somewhere and you paste it somewhere else, you will always be right. But being right is not the point, right? Being right is not always what is desirable. You can make mistakes, provided that they are your own mistakes, right? So what I'm going to do is I have returned the assignments to you, and I think you should all try to rework it once more, and you should resubmit it. But this time, make sure that it is not just copied and pasted sentences. It is your own work, your own sentences. And the one person who actually did that is exempted from this. All the other 13, right? You have to really look at what you have done and try to make it your own. Make the answers. The answers are all right. None of you have submitted a wrong answer, but make the answers your own, not not the sentences written by R.L. Trask or somebody, some other author of some textbook. Make sure that you are the author of your answers. All right. So um, so that you know so let's say today is the 26th. By the end of this week, by Friday, I want you all to resubmit that assignment, rework on it, and submit it once again. What you can do is you can take this PDF that I have circulated. You can copy your answers to a separate Word document, and then you can rework on that, make it your own. And by Friday, I think I'll share one more link where you can submit it, right? You can submit that Word file in that link, and I'll go through your answers once more. Okay. Okay, so that is it regarding the assignments. Um, so for those who are not here right now, just Malavika, can you just pass this message on to them as well, that they have to do this particular task? I hope Malavika is there, or else okay. So you can tell them, tell your classmates that there is this thing to do. Then yeah, I also find that the attendance is a little low. That's probably because this is an afternoon class. So we are monitoring your attendance. Make sure that you attend all the classes. Make sure that mm, you know you don't miss any important thing, because there won't be much scope for even when the college campus reopens. I don't think we'll get enough time to go back and revise everything face to face. So probably this is the kind of classes that you will be getting this semester too. So make sure that you attend all the classes, as many as possible. If you miss some class due to some reason, at least make sure that you inform the teacher that you have missed such and such a class for such and such a reason, right? So try to do that, and that will be good. Now coming to our lesson, our course. In the last class, last week, I missed a couple of classes with you because there were sessions, and on Monday and Tuesday, and then or if you were traveling back to your homes, and we had all those problems. So that's all probably sorted out now. So what we have been discussing is child language acquisition, that is the elaborate process by which a child gains the ability to use language. So one thing that we mentioned in the last class was, this is a very complex process, and this is probably the most complicated process that any human being will ever undertake in their lives, right? And it is all done before the age of 3, 4, 5, at the most 5. By the age of 5, every human child who has the ability to use language will have acquired it, right? And the only kind of condition that is required for this to happen is that the child is exposed to language, right? So provided that you have exposure to language, this elaborate process is something which is automatically taking place, right? So we need to know more about this process, the various stages that are involved, and how each language faculty develops during this process. So by different language properties, we mean, or faculties, we mean the phonetic ability, that is the ability to use speech sounds, the ability to use individual words, that is morphology, the ability to use sentences, syntax, and also the ability to understand meaning, semantics. So in all these areas, children show a very, marked, rapid development during these initial years of language acquisition. So, so in our syllabus, several kinds of questions from this section can be expected. One often repeated question is the stages of language acquisition, and that is what we are going to discuss today in this class. We'll keep it very short because I don't want to extend the time limit set by the principal. So let me just go to a small presentation where we will just quickly look at the stages of language acquisition, starting from birth to about 36 months of age, that is about 3 years, right? From birth to 3 years, that is a period during which the majority of language acquisition takes place. Okay, so if you have a kind of a notebook or some sort of you know a paper or file or something with you, I encourage you to take down notes, right, on what is being discussed in class, on the content of various presentations and things like that. Keep your own personal notes, because again, that is something which will help you to become original in what you do, right, in what you write, in what you speak. um, you know Make sure that you process the information using your own abilities, using your own mind, rather than using somebody else's words. So I hope this presentation is visible for you. I'll just maximize it. Yeah, so we are going to look at the key stages of language acquisition, starting from pre-linguistic sounds all the way to the development of full sentences. Pre-linguistic means, again, very obviously, it means the kind of sounds that a child produces before it begins to speak. So, what kind of sounds are these pre-linguistic sounds? The pre-linguistic sounds are also called by different other terms. So, sometimes in your text, in your you know textbook or your question paper, you might get a question asking you to define what are vegetative sounds or what are comfort sounds, right? So all of this refers to the kind of sounds that are made by children at the earliest part of their life, right? So, various other terms for these pre-linguistic sounds are vegetative sounds, comfort sounds, or vocal play. Okay. So within this kind of vocal play, there is one particular term which you have to note, and that is called babbling, right? Babbling or vocal play. So this is a kind of a language use, early, early kind of um, language ability that children demonstrate. That is, uh, they utter consonant syllable combinations repeatedly. Babbling can be like ba 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 ba, which is a combination of a consonant sound and a vowel sound, right? Or it can, that kind of a babbling in which the same consonant vowel sound b ba, ba ba ba, is repeated is called reduplicated babbling. Sometimes different kinds of consonant vowel sounds are combined together, like ba da da, ba da gi, ba da ga, ba ga ga, or something like that. That is called non-reduplicated babbling. Both of these can be found, in children, um, you know, from the early months, maybe starting from uh, 3 to 4 months of age, all the way up to 10 to 12 months of age. That is the period during which children engage in this kind of a play, vegetative sounds, or uh, you know what um, babbling, right? Basically, it is babbling. So let us look at these stages in a little more detail. Yeah. So this picture, it may not be very legible because it is taken from that video that we saw in the last class. So it gives you a kind of a scale where the various stages of language development are clearly marked out, right? So if you look at this scale, starting from 0 all the way up to 10, that that stage, that is the first stage of language acquisition. It is dominated by vegetative sounds, right? And vegetative sounds are, automatic sounds that children produce uh, in response to various kinds of bodily functions, or various kinds of stimulus that they get from the environment. So happiness results in laughter. If the child feels, hurt in some way, it can result in crying. Uh, you know, Formation of gas might result in burping, cooing. These are all vegetative sounds. You know, they don't carry any particular meaning with them, but they are associated with some sort of environmental stimulus. It can be from the body itself, it can be from the outside environment. It is a way that the child finds to, respond to the external world. So that is vegetative sounds. And within vegetative sounds, this vocal play or babbling is a kind of a, you know a section of that. It's a kind of a subset of that, uh, where the child is actually exercising the apparatus, the speech apparatus that it has, and making it ready to really, to utter the sounds of the language into which he or she has been born. So the whole purpose of this babbling or vocal play is to ready the speech apparatus to tackle the real, actual, sounds in that particular language. Right. All right. So one particular thing that you can notice is that the vowels. Children always produce vowel sounds before they produce consonant sounds. So that is one particular feature. It is universal in nature in any language. The first kind of sounds that children learn to produce are vowel sounds. And what are vowel sounds? If you remember, your uh, you know phonetics classes from your BA, I think it was, it is in your first year that you have this phonetics course. So it is a little bit in the past for you, maybe 3 years ago. Uh, but I'm sure that we all studied that vowels are produced when the airstream, right, the airstream from the lungs, it is unobstructed. There is no obstruction to the airstream. And for the same reason, vowels can be produced indefinitely as long as there is breath. right? We can produce the sound ah or e or oo, any of the vowel sounds. We can produce it indefinitely because it does not depend on any kind of um, what do you say, blocking the airstream or shaping the airstream. It is something that is produced by the open column of air, arising from your vocal cords. Okay, so it is a pure sound. Vowel sounds are pure in that way. Whereas consonants, they, we have to manipulate that sound in order to produce a consonant. So children first learn how to produce these unobstructed, pure vowel sounds before they learn consonants. All right. Now we are looking at this first part of language acquisition from 0 to around 1 year of age. And after the production of vegetative sounds and comfort sounds, the second part of this first stage is babbling, as we just saw. And the two types of babbling that we can see is reduplicated babbling and non-reduplicated babbling. Okay. So in reduplicated babbling, we have the same consonant vowel sounds being repeated. In non-reduplicated babbling, it is different consonant vowel patterns that are uttered by the child. Right. At the end of this 9 months of age, almost 9 months of age, the child also shows the first signs of comprehension. Right? The child gives us certain clues that it is understanding what various words mean. Right? So the child is learning how to associate between situations and strings of sounds. So if the child has a favorite toy and the toy is always called by a particular name, just the mention of that name will be able to impart a kind of a reaction in the child by this stage, by about 9 months of age. Okay. And from there, once the child achieves around 1 year of age, we pass into the next main stage, which is called the one word utterance stage. One word utterance stage. Okay. So this one word utterance, just like the name suggests, this is a stage where the children are able to say single words. So they are able to name objects or actions, or they are able to assign certain roles for objects. For example, like a daddy or mummy, right? These are people that the child are most close to, the child that the child is most familiar with. And they won't be able to say mummy completely, but they might say mama or dada or something like that, right? Small um, you know uh, words which are simple in nature, not complicated words. We won't have children saying words like the kind of words that Shashi Tharoor uses. We won't have that, but we will have small single words which are very structurally very simple, right? And passing on to the fourth stage, this third stage is the one word utterance stage. There is one more term for this one word utterance stage. It is called the holophrastic stage, right? Holophrastic, HOLOPHRASTIC. Holophrastic means it is a, one word stands for an entire phrase, right? So if a child has a toy or something, like teddy, and if the child simply utters the word teddy, that means that the child is actually trying to convey that it wants teddy, right? Or it can even be it wants to take teddy away from the bed or from the table or something, right? So the entire meaning of a complete sentence is compressed into a single word in this stage, in this third stage called the holophrastic stage, right? Then, around 18 months of age, that is 1.5 years of age, we, we experience, or children experience, we don't experience, we can only see, children experience another stage of language development called vocabulary burst. Okay. So suddenly at 1.5 years, almost, at 1.5 years of age. It can be a little early, it can be a little late. It depends on the child, but roughly around that time, they gain the ability to acquire new words, at a very rapid rate, right? So they keep getting more words from their surroundings. They keep learning words, and it is estimated that by the time a child is 5 years old, a child has acquired around 70,000 words, roughly. About 70,000 words is what a child acquires by the time the child is around 5 years of age. And that means that on an average, a child has to learn at least 10 new words per day. Okay. So imagine you doing that at your age. We are all, in a, at 25 or 23 or whatever. During that age, if we want to learn a foreign language, is it possible for us to learn 10 words a day, 10 new words a day, and never forget them? So that kind of ability is what children exhibit at this stage. They go through this tremendous vocabulary expansion, right? And then around the same time that this vocabulary burst is happening, uh, children also pass on to the next stage called the two-word stage, right? So in the two-word stage, children begin to combine, two words together, and they are able to make this kind of a, you know, um, utterance, which looks like a telegram message, not the telegram message that we get through the Telegram app, but an actual telegram message, right? Probably none of you have ever seen a telegram message. I haven't seen one either. But we might have come across telegram messages in movies or in literature. In a telegram message, all the non-essential words are omitted. That means the grammatical words are also often left out. You don't find any grammar words. So, uh, you know, a telegram message might be like urgent, emergency, uh, and then uh, uncle sick, come quickly, or something like that, right? A telegram message might be like that, because usually in our country, telegram messages were, stereotypically the use of telegrams were to indicate the death of a loved one, right? In those days, that was the fastest way you could carry that message to somebody. Um, so children at this particular stage, they also talk as if they were sending telegrams, right? They omit all the non-essential words, and they come up with sentences like, or utterances like "daddy run," right? Just connecting two words together and indicating something. So daddy run can indicate that either daddy is running, or the child wants daddy to run, or the child is asking daddy to take the child and run, or something like that. We don't know exactly, but children try to convey that meaning using this kind of utterance. All right. And then around 24 months of age, that is 2 years old, children undergo yet another phase called the morphosyntactic burst. Just like the vocabulary burst at 18 months, we have another burst called the morphosyntactic burst. This is yet another increase in the linguistic capabilities of the child. The child learns various kinds of morphological variants of words, that is, inflections, plurals, possessives, the changes that individual words undergo in speech. How to change a word so that it fits into a grammatical structure of the language. So that is something that children learn at the age of around 24 months of age. And finally, when the children reach around 3 years of age, the children start to produce full sentences, that is, complete sentences in every way, complete with grammar, complete with syntax, morphological markers, whatever, possessive determinants, everything. Right? Children become perfect users of language roughly around 36 months of age. That is, they have almost completely captured the grammar of the language by that time. Okay. So this chart, this kind of a progression from 0 to 36 months of age, uh, in that is what certain answers in your test papers or exams might ask you to furnish. You have to produce all of these uh, stages in that, so that particular order, and you have to describe what happens in each of these stages. Okay. All right. Okay, so this covers basically the development of child language. So we'll wind up with that today. So what I'll do is I'll share, um, actually, this particular this particular portion is there in the textbook that I shared, chapter 8, I think, from RL Trask. So I'll just extract that particular chapter as a separate file and I'll share it in the group. You can go through that. And I'll also share the links to the 2 or 3 small lectures. Each lecture is about 12 minutes long, where these various stages are explained on YouTube. So I'll share those links also. Go through them, and yeah, and I think we'll be able to go on to the next topic in the next class. Okay. Any doubts or any clarifications are required from this section? Anyone? Okay, I think no. Any other thing that we need to discuss?
സർ ഇതിന് എസ്സേ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണോ അതോ ഷോർട്ട് നോട്ട്സ് ആയിട്ടാണോ ചോദിക്കണേ?
എന്ത് ചോദിക്കാം. നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ചാപ്റ്ററിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെ എല്ലാ ടൈപ്പ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് വരും. കാരണം നമ്മൾ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ബാങ്കിൽ നിന്നാണല്ലോ ഈ ഫൈനൽ പരീക്ഷയ്ക്ക് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ബാങ്കിൽ നിന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ടീച്ചേഴ്സിന് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അവർ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ ടോപ്പിക്സിൽ നിന്നും എല്ലാ ടൈപ്പ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. സോ സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ് ഫ്രം വെരി സിമ്പിൾ വൺ വേർഡ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്, മറ്റേ എന്താണ് ഡെഫിനിഷൻ ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്, ഷോർട്ട് പാരഗ്രാഫ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്, ലോങ് ഷോർട്ട് എസ്സേ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്, ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ഫൈനലി ലോങ് എന്താണ് ഫുൾ ലെങ്ത് എസ്സേ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ എല്ലാ ടൈപ്പ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും എല്ലാത്തിൽ നിന്നും നമ്മൾ ഓൾറെഡി തയ്യാറാക്കി നമ്മളുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ബാങ്കിൽ അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എന്താണ് പേപ്പർ ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ആ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ അവിടുന്ന് ഇവിടുന്നും ഒക്കെ എന്താണ് പല ടൈപ്പ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഒക്കെ എടുത്ത് ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ ഉണ്ടാക്കും. അതിനൊരു റൂൾ ഉണ്ട്. അതായത് ഇന്ന പോർഷനിൽ നിന്ന് ഇത്രയും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് എടുക്കണം, ഇന്ന പോർഷനിൽ നിന്ന് ഹാർഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് എടുക്കണം. അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും ഡിപ്പെൻഡിങ് ഓൺ വാട്ട് ദേ ഡു. ബട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് നോട്ട് സംതിങ് ദറ്റ് വി ഡു. അത് അവരുടെ എക്സാമിനേഷൻ ഓഫീസിലാണ് അങ്ങനത്തെ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളിങ്ങനത്തെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ ഓൾറെഡി നമ്മളുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ബാങ്കിൽ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൽ നിന്ന് എന്ത് വേണമെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാം. യെസ്, ആൽബിന പറഞ്ഞു.
When we preparing, should we just focus on the essay or should we have to go for external references and all when it comes to this particular topic?
എക്സ്റ്റേണൽ റെഫറൻസസ് നോക്കുന്നത് വളരെ നല്ലതാണ്. ഐ മീൻ ഇഫ് യു ക്യാൻ ഡു ദാറ്റ്, റീഡ് ആസ് മച്ച് ആസ് പോസിബിൾ. ഇപ്പം ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ബുക്ക് മാത്രമേ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് തന്നിട്ടുള്ളൂ, ബട്ട് ദർ ആർ മെനി അതർ ബുക്സ് ആസ് വെൽ. അപ്പം ആൻഡ് ഇഫ് യു ആർ റിയലി interested in something, you can bring in elements from all those other books, and you can tailor make your answer, make it more comprehensive. Basically അതാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ PG ലെവലിൽ നമ്മൾ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. It is not something, it is not limited to just the things that we discuss in class. Our class discussions are just the skeleton on which you are free to mold flesh and bones, flesh and muscles and blood and life, right? അപ്പം you should go beyond what is being discussed in the class and make your answer as comprehensive as possible. സിലബസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ജസ്റ്റ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് എന്താണ്, ഒരു മാപ്പ് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. ആ മാപ്പ് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് ഏതൊക്കെ രീതിയിൽ ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്യണം, എവിടെയാണ് എത്തിച്ചേരേണ്ടത് എന്നൊക്കെ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് അപ് ടു യു, റൈറ്റ്? ആൻഡ് വെൻ ദ പേപ്പേഴ്സ് ആർ ബീങ് വാല്യൂഡ്, right, the answers which show the most kind of originality, the most kind of wide reading will be of course rewarded more. Of course there will be ഒരു ബേസിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു റൂബ്രിക് ആണ്, ഒരു ഓരോ ആൻസറിനും ഒരു ആൻസർ കീ കാണും. ആ കീയിലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ എസെൻഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ട് വേണം. പക്ഷേ the best kind of answers are answers which go beyond the key and include other things as well. Basically, you should be able to convince the person who is valuing your paper that, see, I have read more. Right? അതാണ് നല്ലത്.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? ഡൗട്ടോ എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രശ്നമുണ്ടോ? എല്ലാവരും വീട്ടിൽ തന്നെയാണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. I hope everyone is healthy as well. So if there is nothing else, then we can wind up today's class and I'll see you in the next session. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.